Hello my dear Class 10 champions, welcome back to your YouTube channel for Class 10 preparation, that is Diksha Vedantu. This is your geography class and I want to deal with the first chapter of your syllabus, that is resource and development. Yes, my Class 10 students, this will be perfect video in which you are going through the complete chapter in just one short explanation. I want to tell you that by the end of the chapter, we have added some important questions. We will be practicing alongside learning. So this will be our strategy for this lecture. And do you know, we have also uploaded chapters like power sharing, nationalism in Europe, the rise of nationalism in Europe, and the next chapter will be resource and development. But you might be thinking where it is uploaded. So it is uploaded on the exclusive channel Diksha Vedantu, where we are teaching everything in English. Class 10 students, this YouTube videos are specially for you. This channel is specially made for you. You might not be notified about the new videos coming on because you have not yet subscribed the channel. You just need to hit the subscribe button to get all the SST videos. We are also dealing with the subject science, maths and many more strategic videos specially made because we are having 27 years of experience in education sector and we want to be the part of Class 10th journey this time. I hope if not yet done, you are going to subscribe this channel because the strategy is very important for Class 10. So, this chapter's name itself clears us that what is chapter all about. The chapter is about two words, resource as well as development. Now, understand the difference between the same and the interlinking between the same. One word is resource and the other word is development. Okay, resource means here that anything that is available in our environment. Okay, anything that is available in your surrounding or your environment and is useful to us. Mark my words, anything and everything which is available in the environment is not a resource, but anything which is useful to you and which satisfy your need. The important point is which satisfy your need is a resource. Mark my word here. You have two watches, one of your watch stops working, right? You have kept in the home itself, you have not yet thrown. It is a resource. Is it a resource for you? Are you using it? No. Is it useful for you? Is it satisfying your need? No. But the watch which is working, you are using it daily, that is a resource. Got your point? Got my point or not? There is a person who is not rich enough, right? A luxury showroom of car. Is it a resource for that person? No, because he can't afford that, because he can't use that. So understand the difference between anything that is available in the environment and anything that is useful to you, which makes that thing a resource. Okay, now we know that we have air to breathe. Okay, we have soil to grow crops, we have plants for many such uses, and we have so many things that is naturally available in our environment. Yes, we know that, but you also know that we are not using all of them in their original format. For an example, you got from the mine you got an iron, okay, mineral, iron as mineral. Now you modified it, right? You modified it, changed its structures, reduced all its impurities, and you are using it in some other sense. You have modified it, and that process is referred as development. Right? This process is referred as development. So hope that you are clear with these two important words of this chapter. Resource, anything that is available in the environment which satisfy your need is a resource. Okay, whenever you are using that resource involving the other things like technology, skills, etc., that means it's development. But do you know anything that is available in the environment and it satisfy your need is not a enough definition for you to write in class 10, because now you are in class 10 and this definition we have already studied in class 9. You need to add some more points for a better understanding, is that it should be technologically accessible. I will be telling you all this 3 points with the help of example so that you can understand it better. It should be technologically accessible. We all know that in Jammu Kashmir, okay, in Jammu Kashmir uranium is present, but are we able to use it? No. Are we able to extract it even? No, because we are not technologically advanced to extract it. Hence, is that a resource? Because we are not using it, it is not a resource, it is a mineral yet. Getting my point? Because we are not able to extract that uranium out and use it. So it should be technologically accessible. Second most important point, it should be economically feasible. Now what does this word economically feasible word means here? For an example, there is a luxury car standing in front of your house, but it is not yours, it is someone else. We can't afford it. Is it a resource to you? No, because it is not useful to us. Getting my point? So it should be economically feasible, and the third thing is it should be culturally acceptable too. I'm giving you example. For an example, when the world got westernized, right? In Europe and all, Western clothes must be in so much of demand, but Indian people have not accepted that yet. Okay, at that time I'm talking about some years ago. Now we are totally westernized, right? Neither we are left with Indianized nor we are westernized. We are in the middle of something. So culturally acceptable here means that whenever the resource is not culturally acceptable, it is not considered it as a resource. Okay, it should be culturally acceptable too. Like for an example, there is a family who do not take non-veg in their diet. So now will that non-veg food be like acceptable to them, a resource to them? No. So all these 3 conditions should be fulfilled to become an object as a resource. Okay, from an object to a resource, these 2 things should be there. We must understand that all these resources are available in our physical environment. Okay, all these resources are available in our physical environment, but only because of this human interaction which has added its technology and institutions. Okay, along in this 2 things, one important part is skills. Okay, human beings which has added its skills with the help of technology and institution and converted that thing into a useful part, converted that thing into a useful thing, that is referred to as a resource. Okay, and these 3 things like physical environment, technology and institution itself make an object a resource, and this can only be possible with the intervention of humans. Okay, now we will talk about types of resources. Like up till now also you might be studying about resources. One is natural resource that is available in the environment. Okay, the other is human made resource, okay, made by humans like dam, canals, etc. The third is human themselves a resource. This was part of your syllabus up till class 8th. Okay, but today what we need to see is classification of resource. I want to make your attention here that in class 10th your NCERT book, okay, in class 10th your NCERT book of geography, only the names of this classification is mentioned. They have deleted their description. You might be happy when topic is deleted na. So their description is deleted, but we will have a look on what does this means. Okay, very easy, just a quick revision we can see. So classification of resources on the basis of its origin. On the basis of origin there are 2 types of resources: biotic resource, abiotic resource. Okay, biotic resource, abiotic resource. Biotic resource matlab anything that has life, anything that has what? Life. And anything we do not have life, then we call it what? Abiotic resource. You know this very nicely. For an example, plants, okay, animals, bacteria, algae, whatever has a role in the life, which are the things that are useful. Okay, abiotic resource, what, like stones, soil, etc. These are referred as abiotic resource which do not have a life. Moving towards the classification on the basis of exhaustibility, right? How much time it is taking to end, like will it regenerate or not? So on the basis of exhaustibility, there are two types of resources: renewable resource and non-renewable resource. Renewable resources are the resources which regenerate easily, okay, in some upcoming future years. However, non-renewable resources are the resources which do not get regenerated, or it takes millions of years to renew. For an example, coal, fossil fuels, etc. Getting the point? Moving to the third one, classification of resources on the basis of ownership. I know that I'm going a little faster because this section only and only names are given. And I know this is something we have already studied in last classes, okay? On the basis of ownership, individual resource, by my watch, my car, my house, my individual resource, okay? Community resource, it is co-owned by so many of people. Right, it is owned by so many people. For example, you are living in a building, you have a park there, and everyone from your building enjoy and sit in that park, right? Though basically that is a community ownership, okay? National resource like forest of India, wildlife of India, rivers of India. This is what is known as national resource, and the other one is international resource. What is international resource? I want to tell you, in which none of the country has ownership, okay? None of the country has ownership. Like we know that there is exclusive economic zone. If you don't know about that, there is exclusive economic zone. Okay? There is exclusive economic zone in the ocean area where no country has its ownership. Now you might be thinking, ma'am, how country has ownership in particular ocean area? I want to tell you that. For an example, this is Peninsula of India. Okay, in this Peninsula of India, about 12 nautical miles. How much? About 12 nautical miles. It will be under the ownership of India. Do you know how much is 12 nautical miles? It is 22.2 kilometers. It is 22.2 kilometers in which India has its ownership. Like we know that India is a great coastal area, na? Okay. So do you remember in class 9 how much was the coastal area? Comment down fast, okay? I want to check how much do you remember from the last class. So from that coastal plain till 22.2 kilometers, we have ownership. India has ownership on all the resources found in that region. Okay. On the basis of ownership is done, we will move to status of development. On the basis of status of development, there are 4 types of resources. Mark my words, 4 types of resources. Potential resources, a resource that has not been utilized fully, but it has the potential to satisfy all the needs. Right? There may be any issue, like for an example, we have solar energy, right? We know that India being a tropical country, subtropical country as well, we have the potential to use that solar energy, but are we doing it? No. It does not make sense that sun do not have potential. It has. Okay, so this is potential resource. Developed resource, a resource in which the quality is totally developed and the quality is also developed. Okay, and we are just using it fully. Okay, stock is again somewhere similar to potential resource, but the difference is that stock means the resource have potential. Okay, but we are not technologically advanced to use that. We are not technologically advanced to use that. For an example, you people are aware that the formula for H2O, the formula for water is H2O. Okay, then mix hydrogen and oxygen in similar proportion and make H2O. But is it possible? No. Right? Because we are not technologically advanced up till now to make this H2O. This is stock. Getting the point? And the subset of stock is reserve. A part of the stock is known as reserve. So this was all about the classification of resources. You should know the names because I don't want that any student of mine will be making any mistake in examination. Okay, so prepare that. MCQs can come from topic. Even if 2-mark question is also coming, na, you should be prepared for that. Now, are resources the free gift of nature? So you might be thinking, yes ma'am, air is available in the nature, it is free, we are not doing anything. Water is available. No beta. Right? A clear no to this question, because no, resources are not free gift of nature. Right? Because if we are going to use it freely, we are going to face the consequence of using these resources very badly. And even I think that we have started facing it. Okay, there are certain problems, because what we have done, we are just indiscriminately using resource. We are just indiscriminately using the resource, and we are just facing its consequences. Okay, so I want to tell you that yes, because we are just using the resources by our will, wish, greed, everything, there are certain major problems for this, and the problems are such that the resources are getting depleted day by day. Because now we are not working according to the need. We are just working to fulfill the greed of individuals. Right? However, few is written here. I don't want few. Everyone is just using it because of the greed. Even I. Everyone here. Okay? But what we have seen that in this indiscriminate use of resources, there is accumulation of resources in few hands. Right? A condition has been made here of haves and have not. Haves and have not. We know that there are certain rich people in the world who can easily access whatever they want. Right? Oil reserves, what we can say, mineral reserves, all are into the hands of some particular people, group of individual. And this is what is creating a situation that poor are becoming more poorer and rich are becoming more richer. This is because we are using the resource indiscriminately. Right? Not only this indiscriminate exploitation of resources is giving you ecological crisis. Right? Our environment is also giving us a slap that you are using me indiscriminately, I will pay back. You have to pay back. Getting my point? Because of this indiscriminate uses, we have faced certain global crises. For an example, ozone layer depletion, right? Global warming, pollution, very, very important, land degradation. We have seen all these consequences because of that. Now, ma'am, how will question come from this topic? Beta, I want to clear you that either they can give statement-based question like, are resources free gift of nature? So, you need to tell no, they are not, and if used as free gifts of nature, we are going to face these consequences. Okay. Second question, resources are going on the way of development. Okay, resources are getting developed. What are the major consequences of development? So these are the major consequences of development. How? I hope you understood that. So in history, we have seen that we have ended the monarchical system. Okay, industrialization was done. Everyone, each and every country was competing with each other to become like great, to become first in everything. Right? In that thing, they have forgotten that we need to do the development, but keeping its, like what we can say, keeping a fairness in the development. Everyone just forget that. After a while, they just woke up and realized that it is the high time we need to conserve our environment. Okay, many such meetings have took place, but this one is very important. I want to tell you, this one is very important, that is Earth Summit. Pay attention, it is known as Earth Summit. This was the first such summit organized by our global leaders. It was organized by our global leaders, right? When it was done in June 1992, I hope you know this. This was in June 1992 when more than 100 states, right, head of the 100 states came together, and the issue was only one, that we need to look on the environmental degradation. We need to address the urgent problem of environment degradation so that we can do the development in which social and economic factors are not degraded. Okay, so this was it. Assembled leaders came together and signed on a declaration. That declaration is known as Declaration on Global Climate Change and Biological Diversity. This Rio Convention, why we are calling it as Rio Convention? Because this Earth Summit, which we also know called as First International Earth Summit, was held in Rio de Janeiro. Right, Rio de Janeiro, which is in Brazil, and this is in Brazil. So this was organized in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, popularly known as Rio Convention. What they have done here, the word sustainable development came into existence in global level here. So this is not the first time we are hearing the word. I will tell you the history of this word as well. But up till now you need to understand that what is sustainable development. Look, in 1992 we are aware that we cannot stop development. Okay. Now development is a part of our life. Okay. As development is our part of life, we are not going to stop it. And we are going to degrade the environment so much. So what is the solution? The solution is sustainable development. We will do the development, but in that sense that it will be safe. What will be safe? Environment will be safe for future generation. Right? Using environment in such a way that it can be used by our future generation. It can be saved for our future generation. This is the point here. For this sustainable development, they have adopted an agenda that is referred as Agenda 21. And it is referred as Agenda 21. What is Agenda 21? The 21 word here, pay attention, the 21 word here stands for 21st century. It stands for 21st century. Again, in this Rio Convention only, agenda was adopted at United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED. Important for MCQ, right? What is the full form of UNCED? Important for MCQ, point here. Now, they want to gain sustainable development. So, the aim of this agenda was to attain sustainable development. They want to combat environmental damage, poverty, disease through global cooperation. Now, sitting in United Nations, it is not possible to apply this sustainable development in countries. Okay? Or we can say that sitting in Delhi, the central government cannot make the whole nation sustained. Okay, so the strategy was such that we will have a local agenda 21. Each nation, pay attention, each nation will have their local agenda 21. Local agenda 21 will be applied by the local governments. Getting the point? This will be implemented by the local governments. I want to tell it more briefly to you. For an example, in 2014, Modi ji has adopted Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Okay? But do you think that all the cities in India are clean? No. The cities in India are only clean whose local government has worked on it. Getting my point? So whenever a decision is taken, the grassroots government is very much responsible for that. And here it what meant by this local agenda 21. Hopefully you're getting this point. Again, you can have you can get the question such as write a short note on Earth Summit, write a short note on Agenda 21. Okay, I just want to make you clear that what we have studied up till now. So we have started with what is resource. Okay, then we have seen that what is development. Whenever there will be presence of resource, there will be development. And if development is going so much, then it can lead to indiscriminate use of resources. Okay, it can lead to indiscriminate use of resources. Now, this indiscriminate use of resources can create certain urgent problems. See the story. Consider SST as a story, beta. It is so interesting subject if you are just linking to the events. Okay, they have urgent problems. Okay, I forget it. Urgent problems. Moving ahead, now, will you not be able to solve this? Yes, we are going to solve this problem. Okay, how? What we have done at the global level, we have conducted a Earth Summit. Okay, and in that Earth Summit, we have adopted an agenda, that is Agenda 21. Now, you have made an agenda. Will it be implemented just sitting at UN? No. You need to make the plan. You need to make the plan. For an example, you are in class 10. Just taking your books roughly on your study table, sitting and thinking what to study, what not to study, how to deal with no plan, no chapter you want to study, then will it be possible? No. Throughout your class 10th, you need to make your plans. Similarly, if we want to do the conservation of resources, we also need to make the plan here. And the plan is very, very interesting. We are going to study in very interesting manner. So, now the plan is such that you are in class 10th. Example A. Okay, you are in class 10. This is first day of your class and you have so many books in your syllabus. History, geography, civics, political science, then you have chemistry, biology, you have physics, maths. Oh my God, so much to study, na? So, you have so many of books. On the first day when books came, na, you will just go through the index of that books. You will identify which chapters you are going to study in your class 10th, isn't it? This is planning. This is the first process of planning. Okay. So, the first process of planning is identification. Now, we will be connecting it with resource beta. So, pay attention. If once you have identified, you are identified with what are the topics coming in your exams. Now, you will sit on your study table with so much of energy making a timetable. Isn't it? You will make a plan. Oh, I'm going to follow this the whole year. Do you know you will follow or not? So basically, now you will make a planning structure. What you are doing now? Making a planning structure. I just hope every one of you follow this throughout the year. Okay? Is it done or not? Now, the third and the very important is implementation of the same. Okay, implementation of the same. Now, this was for your class 10th matching this with resource. Okay, now, whenever you need to make a plan for resource development, the first and the foremost thing you are going to do is identification of that resources. What you are going to do, beta? Identification of this resources. How you will identify these resources? With the help of surveying. You will make like a survey plan for India. Where is iron found? Where is coal found? Where is gold, diamond, etc. found, right? You will make survey. Then you will go for mapping. You will analyze how much amount of mineral is found here or how much amount of that resource is available. Then you will see the quality of it, right? You will measure the resources. So these are the steps you will see in this first process, that is identification of resources. So this is resource planning in India. The first and foremost step is identification. Then after identification, you will be making a planning structure. Okay, planning structure will be on the basis of how much technology your country has. Okay, how much institutions are developed in your country. Your development plans will only be implemented with the help of technology, skills and institutional setup. Read the statement: evolving a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology, skill, institutional setup for implementing research development plans. Getting my point? And the third and the important one here is, now you made the plan that I am going to study SST now. Okay? And you are not aware when is your exam. You will just read 2 chapters in a day. Okay? You will just read 2 pages in a day. You will think that, oh, exam will come. I'll just read what I wish to. But in that thing, you are lacking your plan, because when exam will come, now your syllabus will not be completed. Similarly, you have resources. For an example, we know that Chota Nagpur belt of India has so much of coal resource, right? If Chota Nagpur region thinks that this whole coal is for myself, So they will use all of that, right? Now what about the remaining part of India? So understand, you need to match the resource development plan with the overall national development plan. Getting the point? I hope it is clear because I have given you the easiest example I can. Okay? So you need to match the resource development plan with the national development plan. Now what is important from this topic, ma'am? So beta, this is the favorite 3-marker question. This is the favorite 3-marker question asked by CBSE board every year. And the question is such that write in detail about the resource planning in India. You just need to highlight this 3 points. Hope it is done by you. Now, we know that resource planning is going on, right? Somewhere it might be that first time the idea was seen, right? Yes. Some points to remember here. It was given in the box in your NCERT, and I think for 1-marker question you should know that fact. The first is that there was a club of Rome. Okay, there was a club of Rome in the year 1968 which talk about resource conservation for the very first time in a systematic way. For the very first time in a systematic way. It was in Club of Rome, right? After that, a book was written by Schumacher. Okay, mark here, a book was written by Schumacher. The name of the book is Small is Beautiful. Okay, the small is beautiful. How much less you have, now you are most happy and satisfied. So in 1974, this book was written by Schumacher and it was based upon Gandhian ideology. I am going to tell you what is Gandhiji's ideology in terms of resources particularly. So this book is written. After that, a commission was formed referred as Brundtland Brundtland's Commission, and this commission was particularly made for the concept of sustainable development. It presented its report in the year 1987. Presented the report in the year 1987, and for the first time the world know this word sustainable development. Okay, so if the question MCQ comes for first time, when did the word sustainable development came? So Brundtland Commission report in the year 1987. Do you remember this? Points to remember. Mark it for 1-marker question, particularly MCQs. No answer will be coming from this topic. Okay, coming to the father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. In this sense, Mahatma Gandhi said that he has raised his voice and said that there is enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. Okay, sometimes question comes from this statement directly. Who said this statement and what do you mean by this statement? So it is very much clear by this statement that we need to conserve our resources. We should have a planning structure to conserve our resources, because if we are going in such a way, right, then we are just indiscriminately using our resources. So it is the high time that we should replace this indiscriminate use of resources with the judicious use of resources. See the keywords, beta. Judicious use of resources. Right? Wherever I am writing some work, underline them, because they are the keywords which you are going to write in your exam. Okay? Do you know that examiner only knows the keyword of NCERT? The examiner who is checking your copy, they only know the words written in NCERT. So read the NCERT thoroughly, watch this one shot, underline the keywords and make good notes after completing both tasks. Okay, moving to further, he also gave one more statement. He was against mass production. Rather, he was in favor of production by the masses. This particular thing we can connect with industrialization. Okay, we can connect with industrialization. I'll tell you how. See, what he is saying that there should be mass production. There should not be mass production, rather there should be production by the masses, because in industrialization one machine is producing so much of goods. Okay, now that single machine is very efficient, doing very good work, but it is reducing the labors. Okay, whenever it is reducing the labor will fight, they will fight definitely the economic crisis. Getting the point? So rather than, in India we can see that there are various handicrafts, handlooms. He particularly focused on handlooms. So Gandhiji here wants to tell you that rather focusing on mass production, let us focus on production by the masses. This was the introduction of the chapter. I just want to make you clear resource, development, then we have seen what are the problems because we are just developing so much. Then we have seen that what is resource planning. These are the 4 more important topics of this chapter. Now, I want to tell you that in this chapter you are going to read about 2 important resources. Okay, you're just going to study 2 important resources. One among them is land. One among them is land resource. And the other is soil resource. What is that? Soil resource. One among them is land resource and the other is soil resource. Pay attention. Now, we know that land is not evenly distributed. Is it? Do you see the land same everywhere? No. We can see that there are mountains, somewhere there is river, some is plain, etc., etc. So we know that the land is unevenly distributed on the earth. Here we are going to talk about India. Okay? So considering the 3 major landforms, considering the 3 major land resources which can have the majority, so it is the plain area. Okay, it is the plain area that is in majority. It covers 43% of our total land area. Okay, 43% of total land area. It is 3.28 million square kilometer. How much it is? 3.28 million square kilometer. This is total area of India. Do you know this? This is total area of India. Among that, 43% is covered by plains. Okay, the next here is mountains, that is 30%, and 27% is with the plateaus. Okay, did you get this point? So land resources in India is divided such that the maximum land is under plains, then mountains, then plateaus. If I talk about uses of land area, I am pretty sure that you are very clear about that land is used in agriculture, land is used in forest, wildlife. Like it is very important because oxygen we are getting it from the plants that is grown in the land area, right? The rivers flowing over the land area. So we know the uses of land area. Okay, but if we are talking about land utilization, how is this land used? Very, very important part of our study. Okay, land utilization, like how is the total land of India used? Pay attention here. For an example, this is the total land. Okay, this is the total land and you are using a part of it in agriculture purpose. Okay, you are using a part of it because you have developed a building over it. We are going to talk about it. There are 7 points, very important. From here, 1 marker question can come, 2 marker can come, even 3 or 5 can come. So the very, very important and like most important use of land is forest, right? Jungle. We can see that the most land area is covered under the forest. Okay, pay attention. There is 2 major thing that comes in our mind whenever we talk about land utilization. Either it's forest or it's agriculture. Okay, so I have told you that first is forest. I am keeping agriculture for last. Okay, so consider this is your land area that is under forest. Okay, moving further, land not available for cultivation. A land that is not available, word here, available for cultivation, because either it is barren land or waste land. Okay, consider this is the land not under cultivation. Among this, there is a land that is barren land. There is a land that is barren land, that is unfit. You know what is barren land? Unfit for cultivation, banjar zameen. Okay, so that is unfit for cultivation, and the remaining one is what we can say land under non-agriculture use. Non-agriculture use. For an example, building, dams, canals, or whatever the structure is made, na, that comes under land under non-agriculture use. Now, all the lands covered that are not under agriculture, no, it's still left, right? There are portion of land that is not used in cultivation, other uncultivated land. Third point here, mark my words, other uncultivated land. Among this, there is a land which is used for pasture of animals. Pasture of animals matlab grazing of animals, right? You know that there are animals like cattle who graze the grasses, right? While they're grazing the grasses, they take the grasses enough because they are animals, they don't know anything. It leads to soil erosion. That is also a problem. And when it leads to soil erosion, the land remaining is not fit for cultivation. Okay, it becomes infertile. So, there is uncultivated land referred as pasture land or grazing land. Other than that, there is a land which is referred as culturable wasteland. Referred as culturable wasteland. Now, what is this? Pay attention. Culturable wasteland is a land that is not under cultivation. Not under cultivation for more than 5 years. For more than 5 years. It is not written here, the definition. I wrote this for you. So, imagine you just bought your land and suddenly a job offer comes to you from USA. Now, you are moving from India to USA, leaving this land behind. Nothing is constructed over there. You are not doing agriculture. It is just left over. That will be considered as culturable wasteland because you are not cultivating it for more than 5 years. How many years? More than 5 years. Pay attention, right? Still there is land left which is referred as fallow land. See, this is referred as fallow land. Now, you might have studied about fallow land in biology. I just hope that. Fallow land refers to the land that is left uncultivated for some time so that it can regain its fertility. We know that the continuous use of land in an improper manner leads it to infertile, or we know that if we are doing natural cultivation or agriculture, the minerals are taken by the crops. So we need to give them a spare time so that it can regain its fertility. In fallow land, there are two types of fallow land. Pay attention. There are two types of fallow land, that is current fallow land or it is other fallow land. Current fallow land or other fallow land. Current fallow land that is left uncultivated. See, that is left uncultivated for 0 to 1 year, or we can say for less than 1 year, not years. Okay, that is left uncultivated for 0 to 1 year. Okay, the other fallow land. Now, like lighten your mind, bulb you need to just light here. This culturable wasteland is uncultivated for how many years? For more than 5 years. Okay, current fallow land is uncultivated for less than 1 year. So, this is uncultivated for 1 to 5 years. Okay, for 1 to 5 years, and this is very important. Did you get this point? I hope. Now, what is left, ma'am? By the land that is left for agriculture purpose. The land that is left for agriculture purpose, because we know that this is the most important use of our land, right? In this use, I am going to talk about two terms. Both of the terms are important in respect to your examination, because either a 2-marker question or direct the definition can come. Okay, the first is net sown area. See, this is what? Net sown area. And the other is gross cropped area. We will be talking about net sown area first, and then we will move to gross cropped area. Okay, Net sown area means the total area of land. The total area of land in which crops are, in which crops are sown and harvested. In which crops are sown and harvested in an agriculture year. I am dictating it, you can write it or you can write it from the board also. In an agriculture year. Okay. So, consider that this is your land. Consider that this is your land of 10 hectare. How much? 10 hectare. Okay. You are using this land once in an agriculture year. You are using this land of 10 hectare once in an agriculture year, and this will be referred as net sown area. But now you are in India, we have 3 agriculture season, right? We have 3 agriculture season in this part of your land. See, in this part of your land, which is 4 hectare, you have grown a crop that will grow for throughout the year. See, it is an example, very important, will make you clear both of these. Okay. In this 4 hectare section of land, you are growing a crop for throughout the year, and in the remaining one, see how much it is. In the remaining one, that is 8 hectare. In the remaining one, you once grow the crop that is rabi crop. Okay. After harvesting this rabi crop, you once again grew the crop that was what we can say kharif crop. Okay. Now, don't you think that this single piece of land that was 8 hectare is used twice? Yes, it is. So, isn't it the double utilization of resource? Yes. So, do we need to count it twice? Yes. 8 plus 8, 16 plus 4, 20. 20 hectare of land is used here in our agriculture here, because we are talking about agriculture here. So, what is gross cropped area? Area under net sown area. See, net sown area plus, right? Net sown area plus area where crops are grown more than once. Crops are grown from more than once. So, the most difficult, or like what we can say confusing topic of our chapter is completed, that is net sown area and gross cropped area. Still not understood? Comment down, because I want these 2 terms that you should clear with this. Okay. So, this is what land utilization. We have seen 5 uses: forest, land not under cultivation, other uncultivated land, fallow land, and that we have seen the agriculture use. In that agriculture use also we have discussed about 2 things: net sown area, and the second one is gross cropped area. Moving to land use pattern in India, very important, because through this pie chart you are getting to clear everything. You will get everything cleared here. General land use category, this is for the year 1960 to 61, and this is for the year 1920, 2019 and 2020. Okay. Through this flow chart, we want to talk about how much, okay, how much portion of land is used as forest. See this blue part, that is 18.11% in 1960. Now increased to 23.41%. Now increased to 23.41. But do you know one thing? How much land area under the forest should a country have? Do you know this? So, according to a report, it should be 33% of total land area. It should be it should be 33% of the total land area. And how much do we have? It is 23.41%. NCERT has not yet updated it. I want to do not get but confused. You need to write only what NCERT is saying. Okay. I am just updating you that according to recent forest report, it has increased to somewhere 24%. But NCERT says that it is 23.41%. We have not now up till now fulfill this parameter of 33%. I just want to ask you a question. Do you know which state of India has the maximum forest cover? Just a general science question. Okay, comment down if you know. So going to land use pattern, we can see forest increased. Okay, this red one is barren land, that is reduced. Okay, non-agriculture used increased. See that. Permanent pasture and grazing land decreased. ठीक है. Area under miscellaneous trees and groups 1.50 इधर 1.02 decreased. Culturable waste land, this is orange one. Okay, this is also reduced. Fallow land, again it is increased, but see, fallow land is increased. Land not fertile for agriculture is increased. Okay, current fallow land again increased. Net sown area, the important point here is net sown area beta. See, here net sown area is 45.26%, and after so many years till 1920 it is 45.64%, and we are aware that population has increased tremendously. So will that be like enough for the nation? Will that not be a negative impact? It is, right? We have not fulfilled the parameter in terms of forest, right? There is no development, there is no growth, no more land increased in net sown area, right? Other than that, fertile land is decreasing continuously. So we want to understand the reasons for the declining trend in the land use pattern. See, what is this? This is the reason for the decline trend in land use pattern. Very, very important NCERT question. Give reasons why the land use pattern is day by day decreasing. Okay, so we know that the total area is 3.28 million square kilometer. Okay, hold on, we will take a break just after some time, because I know that we are repetitively studying here. After land, I will ensure you to give 1 minute at least. Okay, so the total geographical area is 3.28 million square kilometer, but the land under use, the word is not here, available for use is only and only 93%. Ma'am, where is the remaining 7% of land? How can land be vanished? Beta, this is so serious problem, because we know that the total area is 100%, okay, but which is available for our use is 93%, because we know that some land went as POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Okay, then some land is under China's control, Aksai Chin from Ladakh and Jammu wala region, and then some part from Arunachal Pradesh also they have. So total geographical area 100% is not available to us. Day by day this permanent pasture has been reduced. Permanent pasture is reduced, then how will animals get the grazing food? Okay, talking about this current fallow land, right? We have so much of current fallow land increasing day by day, and this land is of so low quality. Now, this land can be made useful, right? We can use for pesticides, fertilizer, and we can use some appropriate measures to make this land useful, but the cost of it is very high. Right, the cost is very high if done. Right, now mark my point, if done we can increase net sown area. This NSA is net sown area. If done, we can increase that net sown area to 54%. How much? To 54%. Along with this, there is one major problem, that every state in India do not have a unified land use pattern. Right, that is very much clear. It is not, because we know that like Arunachal Pradesh, it is a hilly state. Assam, hilly state. Is that mountainous land as effective as the land available in UP, that is of northern plains? No. Right? So did you get the difference? The Thar desert wala region, is that useful for Rajasthan? No, because it is a barren land. So the pattern of land net sown area also varies from state to state. There are states like Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, where 80% of the land is under cultivation. However, when we talk about Arunachal Pradesh, only 20% of the land is under cultivation. So this pattern also varies, hence affect the production. We can say that there are certain waste land under non-agriculture uses like building and etc. and continuous use of land without taking appropriate measure. This is one of the factor. Now, if there is a factor, this is creating problem. What is that problem? That is land degradation. If we have a problem, then we will find its solution also, and that will be referred as land conservation. Land degradation is caused by two factors, and that two factor is either it is naturally affected or degraded, or it is through the human factors. Okay, we are going to talk about that. For example, earthquake, volcano, or tsunami, etc. It leads to the land degradation. Here we are going to focus about the land degradation by human factors. For an example, you are studying since childhood deforestation, cutting of plants, right? Other than that, over mining. You know that over mining, when mines are like minerals are extracted above its limit, that mining area gets scrap. Right? Sometimes roof fall have been found, right? That mining area, from that mine hazardous gas is released. So many factors that make the land degraded. Over irrigation, yes, whenever we are giving like over water to the soil, it becomes saline in nature. The amount of salt increases. So the mineral composition change, which makes the soil degraded. Okay. Then it is overgrazing. We know that it leads to land degradation. I just told you. So these are the factors. And in India, where are these factors which are affecting more? Okay. So like over mining is seen in the states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. Very, very clear. Because major mines are in this region. Okay. The next is overgrazing. Overgrazing is found in areas like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Very important question. Okay. Factors leading to land degradation, explain in detail. 5 marks. Learn this and you will get your 5 marks. Okay. Moving to next, that is over irrigation in Punjab, Haryana and Western UP. They are just going to face this in future because of green revolution. They are just doing so much of agriculture, particularly rice, paddy, which is not ought to be grown there, right? So as a part of green revolution, it is being done, and rice needs so much of water, you know that. Okay, as rice needs so much of water, now land is just filled with water throughout. It is making the soil saline, and as a result it is degrading. Okay, mineral processing industries like grinding of limestone. If you have seen any industries where like grinding of limestone is done, or cement industry, it can probably be. So all these industries like gives us so much of dust in the atmosphere. So a layer of that dust is like over the land. Okay, it just spread over the land, which reduces aeration in the soil, right? Penetration of water in the soil. So this is the 2 reasons minerals are also affecting the land, right? Now everything has a solution. If deforestation is a problem, then do afforestation, grow more crops. If over irrigation is a problem, stop it. So now let us talk about some of the points like land conservation, and the first among them is afforestation, proper management of grazing, plantation of shelter belt. I will tell you. For an example, this is your land, okay? And this land is near to a deserted region, okay, or the region which have sand, okay, but this is fertile. Whenever the air will come, it will bring sand along with them. If sand is spreaded in this region, will the land remain fertile? No. So what we can do at the corners of this land? At this corners of this land, we can grow crops of large trunk, okay, and we can create a shelter, okay. Now, what will this shelter belts do? That will deaccelerate the flow of either wind, it will deaccelerate the flow of sand into it, or it can be water. I just gave example of sand to you, okay. So this plantation of shelter belt, stabilization of sand dunes, what I gave you the example by growing thorny bushes. It can be plants or thorny bushes here. proper management of wasteland, proper discharge and disposal of industrial effluents, because we know that when industries directly discharge its hazardous effluents on the land, it get degraded, right? So these are the steps followed for land cultivation conservation. 5-mark question, 2 questions are there. Reasons for land degradation explained in detail. Here it is. Okay, how to conserve land, here it is. I know that you are able to explain them. These are just headings. You explain them in detail so that it can be useful for your future. Okay. Now, part 2 of this chapter, that is soil. Okay. The part 2 of this chapter is soil. What is soil? Soil is basically loose grainy substance that is made up of sediments of rocks, right? Weathered sediment of rock that is mixed with organic humus content, and this is how soil is made. So the topic is soil resource, and we are going to talk about the types of soil found in India or the classification of soil found in India. Okay, you are seeing since many years this is known as soil profile. Okay, the soil formation is just not the result of one single year. It takes millions of years to lead to the formation of soil, right? Take years to form soil. Basically, it is the unweathered rock at the lowest layer, right? Unweathered rock, that is also known as sea horizon. Above that we have some weathered rocks, right? Small pieces of rock. It then eventually get more weathered and they are granules now. Now what we can say, the weathered as clay type of thing is known as soil, and this is the topmost layer of soil. This becomes soil because it is mixed with the humus content. Okay, it mixed with the organic content which makes it fertile or fit for cultivation. Get it? So there are 6 types of soil majorly found in India: alluvial soil, black soil, red and yellow soil, laterite soil, arid soil and mountainous region. Now I have a super hack for you so that your soil topic will be covered in just a single page. Okay, but wait, before that I want to tell you that there is a map work also from this chapter, just a single map work from the entire chapter, that is classification of soil, and we will see, because whatever we are doing now, we should visualize it first, particularly in geography. So talking about this light green area, right, here it contains alluvial soil. When I will tell every detail about this soil, now you will get it. Okay, so this is what alluvial soil. See, this region is consisting of black soil. Okay, so this is alluvial soil, black soil. This pinkish one is red and yellow soil. This is red and yellow soil. See, this alluvial soil, light green one, this is also present in the eastern coastal plain also. Okay, this is black soil covering major part of Maharashtra, Malwa, Saurashtra region and some parts of Chhattisgarh as well. Okay, moving further with red and yellow soil, here Odisha, West Bengal, this zone of Western Ghats and the northeastern region. Okay, moving towards laterite soil. See, the small portion of laterite soil is present in India in the areas of heavy rainfall. So whenever the areas of heavy rainfall comes, we can never forget northeastern region, Mawson Ram particularly. Arid soil, again arid soil is the soil that is found in area with no rainfall. This desertified region is arid soil, and this soil, this greenish color, is referred as mountainous or forest soil. So these are the 6 type of soil that is found in India. Now we are going further with the next one. Just a glitch. Alluvial soil. Okay, see, alluvial soil is very important for exam, okay, because it is the most widespread and the most fertile soil in India. Now, 2 MCQs can come from this topic. Which soil is mostly found in India, abundantly found in India? Alluvial soil, okay, which is the most fertile soil of India, alluvial soil. But before moving to the topic soil, I want you to make a flow chart of this, right? See, the maximum marks covering question is 5 marks. Okay, and this topic of the chapter is very, very important for your exam perspective up till now, right? And we are talking about what? Soil. Okay? Whenever there is so much of fact in a chapter, mark my words, whenever there is so much fact in a chapter, we can subdivide, we can have a subheading of our points. Okay, we are reading soil. First we will read formation of soil. How is it formed? Okay, how is it formed? Where is it found? What are the areas where this soil is found, right? What are the mineral composition of this soil? What are the mineral composition of this soil, right? What are the crops grown in this area? And we will add features and write all the rest points which are important from this topic. These 5 subheadings, trust me, will help you to get the marks here. Because trust me beta, this is a very good structure of your answer writing. If you are writing the subpoints, the examiner will be so happy that how nicely you have presented your answer. So it's not about to just mug up. You should learn how to present in exams as well. This is very good way. See, I'll tell you, I'll make you learn all the soil, and at last we have a chart made for you, and that is very, very superb strategy. So alluvial soil is formed by the interplay of 3 major rivers. I'm giving you points, pay attention. Look, there are 3 major rivers in India: Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra. And we know that this Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra is bringing water from the north Himalayan region with so extensive, what we can say, extensive pressure. When this water is flowing, right, they are creating pressure on the soils, on the rock nearby. Due to that, the rock weathered, and eventually that sediments roll down and lead to the formation of what? Soil. This rolling down of sediments get spreaded over a region across their deltas. Okay, across their banks, what we can say. So this leads to the formation of alluvial soil entirely in the northern plains, because these 3 major rivers are entirely in the northern plain. But what are the areas covered? Pay attention. The areas of northern plain, okay, a narrow zone between Gujarat and Rajasthan, and eastern coastal plain. Now the question is, ma'am, how it can be eastern coastal, as the 3 rivers are flowing in the northern part of India? Because Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari, 3 major rivers are flowing in South India, which are mixing with Bay of Bengal, and in that delta formed by that rivers, this soil is formed because of the deposition of sediments, right? So this is the reason for the formation. Areas, if I talk about composition, because it is very good soil, fertile soil, it has adequate proportion of phosphoric acid, potassium, lime. It has good proportion of phosphoric acid, potassium, lime. What are the elements required for a fertile soil is present in this. We can classify this soil on the basis of age, right? On the basis of age, we can classify it into 2 types. One is Khadar and the other is Bhangar. Right? This Bhangar is known as old alluvial soil. You have read it in class 9th. Old alluvial soil, and this Khadar is known as new alluvial. Right? Because in the downstreams of this hilly region, the sediments are depositing every time. So every new year a new layer is formed, that is referred as Khadar. This old one with the most calcareous deposits, Kankar deposits, right, that is referred as Bhangar, the old one, right. Among this, which is the most fertile? Among this, new alluvium is the most fertile. Get this point? Talking about features, right, this soil is highly fertile, due to which intense cultivation is done, and this is densely populated. The crops which are grown here are wheat, paddy, cotton, wheat, paddy, sugarcane, pulses, cereals, etc. So 5 points from the topic alluvial soil. Moving to the next one, that is black soil. right? Black soil is found in the parts of Maharashtra majorly, and if you're not aware, it is also known as black cotton soil because cotton is grown extensively there. See, this is also known as black cotton soil, and this is also known as Regar soil, right? Why Regar? In Maharashtra region, in Marathi language, that black color is referred as Regar, okay? So it is also known as Regar soil or black cotton soil. Formation, how is it formed? So we know that this portion is Deccan Plateau. This part of land where black soil is found, this is Deccan Plateau, and Deccan Plateau is the result of what? Volcanic eruption. In this volcanic eruption, the lava flowed over this region, due to which basalt rocks were formed. Which rocks were formed? Basalt rocks were formed. As a result of this parent rock basalt, the soil formed is black soil over this region. Okay. So where it is found? In Madhya Pradesh, Saurashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh. Again it is Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, southeast region along Godavari and Krishna Valley. Talking about the mineral composition, this is rich in calcium carbonate. Pay attention. Calcium carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime. However, it is not rich in phosphoric content. Now, it is not. What you need to remember is calcium carbonate, magnesium, potash, lime. It is available. Not rich in phosphoric contents. Okay. Feature, this soil is very clayey soil. Have you ever saw a clay powder, right? How fine it is, right? Similarly, the granules are so fine in this type of soil, and hence it is known as clayey soil. Because of this clay texture, right? Whenever first shower is there, like you have a bowl of clay in your hand, okay, and that bowl is filled by that powdered clay, you just bring so much of water and add to it. Does it become sticky? Yes. Similarly, in the first time whenever there is shower, right, so this becomes so sticky, okay, the soil becomes so sticky. But whenever there is summer season, it becomes like this, it develops crack. This is the feature of black soil. Develops crack when hot, becomes sticky after the first shower, and as this soil is clayey soil, it has a good capacity to hold moisture, because if we add water in that clay, it absorbs it thoroughly, and after some times it is becoming so dry that it develops crack. So very important thing, clayey soil, good capacity to hold moisture. Question will come in your MCQ, which soil is featured with the capacity to hold moisture. That time you will remember me that I have told this point here. Okay, so develop cracks in hot and get sticky in wet. Next is red and yellow. Okay, talking about this red and yellow, it is formed in the region where crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks are formed. These are also the result of lava flows, but we can say that these are the areas that are far away from that lava flows. Getting my point? So, develops on crystalline, igneous and metamorphic areas are areas of low rainfall, areas where there is low rainfall in eastern and southern part of Deccan Plateau. Now see, like for an example, this is Deccan Plateau, okay. Now air comes here and this region is the area of high rainfall. This region is the area of less rainfall because it is Piedmont zone. What we call it? The area which restrict the rain because of mountains. This is Western Ghats, okay. This Western Ghats restrict the rain in this region. This area is known as Piedmont zone. Piedmont zone or rain shadow area. So in this area, this red and yellow soil is found. It is found in parts of Chhattisgarh, Odisha and some parts of Middle Ganga plain. Also in the Piedmont zone of Western Ghat. This is what I just made you understand, okay. Composition, it is red in color because of the diffusion of iron. That is clear. Because of the diffusion of iron. Then why it is yellow in color? Whenever it is in hydrated form. That means whenever this soil is found in an area which is having high rainfall, it will become yellow color of soil. Right? It will become yellow color of soil. The next one is laterite soil. What we can say, the bad quality of soil, worst type of soil. Okay, talking about this laterite soil, this word laterite comes from a Latin word. It comes from a Latin word later, okay, and it means brick. So now if you are using brick, breaking it down, growing crops in it, will it grow? No. Similarly in this type of soil, and why it is bad, the point is that basically formation, it is formed in the areas of tropical and subtropical region. Now tropical and subtropical region are the region which is featured with high temperature, high humidity and high rainfall. Because of this high rainfall, whenever in an area there is so much of rainfall, right, that the capacity to hold the soil reduces and the top layer of the soil washes away. Right, whenever that top layer of the soil washes away, that is known as leaching. Right, leaching of the soil or wash away of the soil, and because of intense leaching, this particular type of soil become infertile. But however, in the areas where are evergreen and deciduous trees are there, that trees hold the soil. Okay? The trees hold the soil, and in some parts basically vegetation is seen, in other parts it is scarce vegetation. Areas are like western Ghats of Maharashtra, Odisha, parts of West Bengal and northeast region. Composition very deep because topsoil washes away. It becomes acidic in nature, generally deficient in plant nutrients because all the nutrients has washed away with the topsoil. Okay, features, because of this washing away, it is prone to erosion and degradation. Crops, now if we are using a good, effective, appropriate measure to conserve this soil, then in Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, tea and coffee is grown. Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, tea and coffee is grown on this soil. Particularly in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, Kerala also, cashew nut is found. Okay, so the crops grown in laterite soil are tea, coffee and cashew nut. The next one is arid soil. Arid soil is like barren land, particularly we can say. Some of the regions crops are grown. This is because of dry climate. Whenever there is dry climate is because of high temperature. Whenever there will be high temperature, there will be high evaporation. And whenever there is high evaporation, it increases the salinity of that soil and humus content is lost. Okay. Area where this type of soil is found, that is Rajasthan. Composition, it has high calcareous content. That means kankar, calcium content is there. Sandy in texture, you know, sandy it will be. Like, let me tell you that a perfect soil is the one which has a good proportion of sand, silt and clay. Okay, see, good proportion of sand, silt and clay. When good proportion of sand, silt and clay. When this sand is more, whenever this sand is more, the soil becomes sandy. Whenever silt is more, silty. And whenever clay is more, clay, that means black soil. Do you remember? It is also known as clayey soil. So this is the proportion. Sand, silt and clay should be in appropriate proportion, which is found in which soil? Alluvial soil. Okay. So features are sandy in texture and saline in nature. After proper irrigation, it can be cultivable, because in western Rajasthan there are some areas where millets are grown, right? Because we have adopted appropriate measures in that reason. Moving to forest soil. Forest soil basically found in mountainous region. Forest region, there is high rainfall, high temperature, evaporation is faster, so the soil loses its humus content. Okay. Coming towards, okay, mountainous soil is missing in this. I'll tell you here. It is found in mountains with heavy rainfall. Okay. They are loamy and silty in valley. Now see, like this is mountains. Are you able to see that? Okay. For an example, this is mountains. Okay. In this mountains, this is valley. And this is the upper slopes. In the upper slopes, the type of soil, that is mountainous soil, here it will be grains. Okay, however here it will become loamy. That means more, the grains will be weathered more here. Okay, they are acidic and organic, limited to fertility. Tea, spices, wheat, barley, maize, coffee is grown there due to denudation because it is slopy region. Na? See, this is slopy region, right? Because of that slopy region, it is more prone to erosion. Denudation, weathering will be more there. So hence this is known as forest soil or mountainous soil, and this is the perfect chart. Right, what we have studied in last 10 minutes, here it is a perfect chart for that. See, the first column here is of soil. Okay, soil, then its formation, areas covered, mineral content, crops grown, and the features. In this one chart, like I would suggest you prepare the chart. Either you are making it, taking the print out of it. Just see this chart, stick it in front of your study table, paste it, okay, and revise it whenever you have time. Because this is very important topic, beta. Multiple MCQs have come from this topic, multiple questions have come from this topic, and I want you to thoroughly do this thing. Okay, so this is how we end the most important topic. Now moving to soil erosion, which you are studying since time. Soil erosion is what? If you want the definition, it is denudation of soil cover. That means removal of the topmost layer of soil, and that removal can be by many factors. It can be due to human factors by we are exploiting everything. It can be due to human factors like we are cutting the forest, deforestation, overmining. Okay, it affects the topsoil very much. Overgrazing, animals don't know, huh? They are animals, they don't know. This is grab that grass so much, so that soil also comes along, na? So overgrazing, construction, particularly we are just cutting the forest for construction work, which leads to soil erosion. Natural factors like wind, water, and glaciers. Okay. Now let us talk about the type of soil erosion, the gully erosion, wind erosion, sheet erosion. I'll tell you in detail what are they. So talking about gully erosion, like exactly what the word is, gullies, right? See, like this. Okay, now what happened? This is a part of land. Okay, this is a part of land which have soft rocks. Consider it has soft rocks. Okay, river is flowing from nearby. Okay, the river is flowing from nearby. As these rocks are soft, the river water will weather it, easily weather it. Okay, and then when this weathering happens in like gully type of thing, okay, in that gully landform structure, that is known as gully erosion. Like streams are made of water. That streams of water enter into the landform area and affect that soil. Okay, reduce the fertility of that soil, washes away the topsoil. This is known as gully erosion. When similar such erosion take place due to wind, like heavy wind takes away the top layer of the soil, that is wind erosion. And sheet erosion is like we can consider it as a part, like a type of landslide, not type of landslide, just understand it as landslide. Right, we can see that like a portion of land is just weathered in the landslides. Na? Similarly, sheet erosion means that portion of soil is weathered. This is a sheet of soil and it flows with the flow of water or glacier or wind. That is known as sheet erosion. One more and important factor that leads to soil erosion is wrong method of cropping as well. How can we solve them? There are certain ways, like to solve these, the ways are like contour ploughing. Right, if you don't know, I want to tell you that because this is very, very important. It can be your 5-marker question as well. So how to solve soil erosion? That is contour ploughing. For an example, this is a mountainous region. Okay, you have land somewhere near to that. Now water is coming from this region with a flow. Okay, the water is coming and will eventually move to your land area. If you are growing crops here, the crops will be destroyed because of the fast flow of water. Right? Now you have done what? To facilitate it. Now you wanted your crops to be destroyed. To facilitate it, you have plowed your land in this direction. You have plowed your land in this direction. Will it not be easy for the water to flow? It will. So what is counterplying? Counterplying means that, what is counterplying? Counterplying means that ploughing the land along the contour lines. Contour lines. Now it will deaccelerate the flow of this water. Did you get this point? Okay. The second one is terrace farming. Okay. The second one is terrace farming, like over the hills. Like over the hills, steps are being made. Like this type of steps are being made, and here farming is done. For an example, tea gardens in Sikkim, right? Cardamom hills in Kerala. This is the result of this terrace farming. Strip cropping, I already told you that this is a piece of land. Okay, see, this is a piece of land. In this land, you are growing crops. Okay, now you are growing crops, and in between there is a land left. In that land, you can grow grasses, strips of grasses. Now what will this grass do? Because of the height, they will reduce the effect of wind on the crops. Effect of wind on the crops, so that it can reduce the wind erosion. And the last and the very important, that is shelter belts. Alongside your farm, you can grow the crops. You can grow the plants, big trunk of plants. It can also reduce the flow of water, or it can reduce the flow of wind. So this was all about the chapter. What we have studied in the chapter, I'm just giving you a quick recall. We have studied what is resource and development, both the definition of both. Okay, then we have seen what are the major problems caused by the development. Then we have seen conservation of resources, which includes the topic like Earth Summit, Agenda 21, etc. Then we moved with how you will conserve them with the help of resource planning. Okay, what we have done then about land resource, we have studied thoroughly for land resource, and we have ended the chapter with soil resource. So this is the topics. You can make a mind map using the subheadings. After thoroughly reading your chapter from NCERT, watching my video, make a mind map on a single page, starting from between, make the branches and write this topic, write the subpoints what you needed. Okay? Not ending this lecture, because I want to tell you some important questions from this chapter. There are 10 questions, and I want each student to practice it very nicely. Okay? First question, name the states where black soil is grown and the crops grown in the soil. I'm giving you the answer of the same, but I won't give you the answer of everything, because I want you to practice. And if you will be having any problem, I want that in comment section. I'll sort that out. Okay. So name the states like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, okay, Chhattisgarh, parts of Chhattisgarh. This black soil is grown. The crops, cotton, sugarcane. Okay. What steps can be taken to prevent soil erosion in hilly areas? Just now I told you, right? Shelter belts. We can create shelter belts. Strip cropping, terrace farming, counter plugging, right? This can be done. Explain 3 steps. Okay. Which type of soil is found in the region of eastern coastal plain? Explain its 3 features. Now this is a tricky question. They are asking that this is like peninsula. In this eastern coastal plain, which type of soil is found? When I was teaching you alluvial soil, I told you that you focus that it is found in eastern coastal plain. Okay, so basically you are asked the 3 features of alluvial soil. This is how they frame that, like they want to see how application learning you are doing or not. So this is the way by which they ask question. Explain the 3 steps of resource planning. This is very direct question. Explain soil erosion, steps taken to prevent. This is the chart. Everything you will get about soil erosion from here. Land under forest has not been increased since 1960-61. In the video you can see our resources free gift of nature. Major impact of resource depletion you have to tell. Okay. There is enough for everyone's need but not for everyone's greed. The statement given by Mahatma Gandhi. Explain the statement. Reasons for land degradation. Explain them with the regions associated, and which soil is the result of intense leaching. Hint is laterite soil. I am giving the hint for the very first time, okay? Next time I will be showing you questions, no hint, because I want you to solve it. Okay, beta? So take 30 minutes of your day. Start solving this question after you learn the chapter, because practice is what makes you a topper. Okay, it's not just reading thoroughly NCERT only. It is what practice that makes you a topper. Follow this, all the steps what I told in the video lecture. I hope you are enjoying my sessions, my chapters, and if anything you required from my side, just text here, text in the comment section, so that we can provide you everything that is going to help you in your class 10th preparation. If not yet subscribed the channel, subscribe Diksha Vedantu, so that you can be notified whenever the next chapter of mine is coming. Thank you for being the part of this session. Thank you.